So recently, I've been hearing a lot of complaints from online and in person that things are unaffordable, that we're not able to live off of the bare minimum of work that the previous generation did, and that we aren't going to have a future of retirement. That maybe the age of 59 and a half or 65 is going to get pushed to like 75. And the playbook really has changed. Uh, and when I say playbook, I mean the thought that we just go to school, pursue a good career, work for 40 years, be able to put a down payment on a house for 10%, maybe have two cars, one for you and your wife, maybe three for the family, have 2 to 3 kids, maybe send them to private school if it's affordable. And that's just not the case anymore, especially off of one single income. And you could be upset about it, but you have to face reality. The thing is, well, life just keeps changing. Things keep evolving. I mean, if you really look at how we live today, we're a pretty degenerate society. I mean, a lot of the things that we see now was forbidden when I was a kid, and now it's just out in the open. And if you don't accept it, you're technically the bad one. I mean, adults aren't even the same adults that we were raised with. The adults nowadays are entitled. I mean, they're our generation. They're lazy. They're doom scrollers. They're gooners. Uh, they're like kidults who love buying like childhood things and spending all their money. They're no longer the adults that we were raised to look up to. Um, I mean, I'm an adult, which is yeah, it's crazy to say, but I just think everything's changed. And like I said, whether you like it, whether you don't like the way we're heading, you're kind of forced to adapt and kind of adopt whatever the new meta is. There I go again, right? Speaking in game terminology, but you really do have to accept the new meta. And I know you hear it online all the time. You know, start a business, to invest, and most of the times the complaints is I don't have any money to invest. Um, and I think that brings a bigger issue to you. Did you follow the playbook of the previous generation? Like, if you're literally thinking the playbook from 40, 30 years ago is still applicable to 2026, I mean, you're in due for a rude awakening if you haven't already. Um, it's just not possible anymore. And that's kind of why I've been so aggressive in more recent years, because I fell victim to it. I mean, I went to school, I pursued a career in healthcare, and, you know, as a young, impressionable teenager, I thought, hey, once I get my degree, I'll have more than enough money to do whatever I want. I could get a house, I could marry my girlfriend, I can have a few kids, and I'll never complain about work. And this is going to be the greatest thing ever, and life's going to be great. And I mean, the older you get, you have more responsibilities. You start to see things in a different light, um, and yeah, that quickly changed for me. And I realized that no, I cannot do this for 40 years. Uh, I can't speak and make a generalization for every career, but at least in my career, it's not the same responsibilities and roles that people had 30 years ago. My job in particular, five, the roles and responsibilities have like 5x. I mean, the hospital and healthcare is asking like a million more things from us to do. There's more regulations that kind of interfere with the workflow, and the pay isn't really compensating for that increase in work. So I mean that's already even a great example that the work environment isn't the same. Um, some may argue it's more toxic, and I think it is. Even company 401ks. I know that's a big topic in the finance, YouTube, and online space. And I'm not denying that it's a great investment vehicle, especially if you're getting a company match. I mean, it's technically just free money. But those rules are a little scary and worrisome. I'm 28 right now. If that age of retirement is like 59 and a half or 60 when I could withdraw, anything can happen in the next 31 years. And when I mean by anything can happen, I mean the rules to that can be changed at any time. They can extend the date of withdrawal to 75. They can, a company can extend the date of your vesting period. I currently have one at the new job that I'm at that the vesting, I believe, is after 3 years. Yeah, I could get to 3 years and that thing can get easily pushed to 5. And what happens if I find a better job? Or what happens if the business is booming or I have obligations outside of work where it's related to family and I'm not able to commit another 2 years full time to the job? I'm just going to lose out on 3 years of the employer's like 8% contributions. Like, that's just crazy, right? Um, so, the point of this video is just don't get so attached to the old playbook. I'm not saying that it doesn't work 100%, but times are changing and they're changing pretty quickly. And you have an obligation to not only yourself, but to your future family or your current family to provide. So put yourself in the best position to do so. So that's why I'm taking this aggressive approach with juggling a full-time job, scaling this business, investing aggressively, and working on the additional side of incomes that I have. Maybe it's not ideal to do this for a prolonged period, but it's something that I'm trying to take advantage because I have the freedom and the energy to do so. Because eventually I'm going to have obligations to my family and I won't have as much energy to do all of these different streams of income. So just trying not to leave any crumbs on the table and just accepting that nobody's really written the playbook for this new meta. Eventually, when they do, this new meta is going to be the old meta. So really take advantage of it right now and don't be so hard on yourself that you haven't figured it out. Because like I said, it's still very new. People are doing things that we never thought would be possible years ago. So just get out there and just farm experience, do what you can, and just keep going. Peace, guys.